Okay, today is Wednesday, June 1st. We are in the Community Development Building in the large main room, and we are starting this meeting a little later at 6:09 p.m. We are meeting with the advisory team, and we'll divide into small groups with the library staff. I'm going to pause it during our small groups, and then we'll regroup as we do the reporting out. Okay, everybody. Hi. Thanks for coming tonight. I know it's a beautiful night. Everybody has all the stuff that you're doing in your lives, and it's a million things, and I know people are tired, and I really appreciate everybody coming. So we have 3 tables tonight, and we have 3 wonderful library staff members. They're going to introduce themselves, just give a little brief summary of what they do. There's also a brief summary on the tables of the folks who will be sitting at your table. And then after a time, we're just going to switch, which means you guys are going to switch. Might be better if you do, but I think if we get up, it'll keep us energized. So then we'll just do a round table like we did before. Last time we had 4 to 5 tables. Tonight we have 3. And then in the second hour, we're going to have 2 tables. So why don't you all introduce yourselves? Jessica.
Hi, I'm Jessica McGee. I'm the director of the public library. I guess I'm the main person who's in charge of policy with the help of the library board, which is nominated by the mayor. We have a really good library board right now. I'm very happy with it. It took a lot of work trying to get a much more diverse board than what we had before, but we did succeed, I think. I also do the marketing of the adult programming. I do the adult programming. I do collection development for Overdrive, which is our online books. I do collection development for romance. I do collection development for the DVDs that you find at the library. I represent the library at all of the city meetings.
The many city
The many city meetings. I spend a lot of time in the meetings. I'm also on 2 boards for SELCO, which is Southeast Libraries Cooperating, and then I'm also a member of the staff racial equity team.
My name is Randy Decker. My official title is Public Services Librarian. I do mainly 3 different types of things there. I do IT support and technology. I do some collection development for the science fiction, fantasy, and horror section. And then I'm also in charge of the service desk, so the people you come up to and see the desk, and we set policies there, and also help develop the various services and offerings we have, whether electronic or in person.
I'm Megan Sealand. I'm the Youth Services Librarian, so I work with kiddos from birth until about 18 or 19. So I do all the programming for kids, which is a lot of things, so story times, game nights, Lego Club, many things. We have a full lineup for summer. So just trying to balance that out for kiddos of different ages and interests. I also do the collection development and management for all of the children's and young adults collections. So all of the books, the audiobooks, the graphic novels. I do have an assistant who helps me with that stuff, so that's good. What else do I do? A lot of things. So just basically work with children and families and teens. For the last few years has been really weird, but we're starting to get like our teen volunteer group off the ground again. For summer,
We brought the toys back.
we did bring the toys back and the furniture. So
We're very excited.
yeah, so just kind of trying to make the library, like we worked really hard to make the library into this like welcoming place where sort of a community center where people would come and stay and play, and then COVID happened and we had to take away all the fun. So we're working to, kind of like ease that stuff back in and turn the library back into a place where people don't just do curbside pickup.
And then I did just want to mention that Carrie Gadian really did want to be here, but she lost her mother over the weekend, or she would have been here.
Can you
And she is our technical services librarian, which means that she's in charge of the books from the beginning, from ordering them to getting them processed, to getting them on the shelves, and then keeping the flow of them getting back on the shelves.
But they could ask any questions.
Yes.
And then what I forgot last time was that, you guys introduce yourself. So can we start, can you we'll just say names, but just kind of say them loudly so people can hear. And I'm not expecting anyone to remember, I guess.
Hi, my name is Janet Santiago.
Liz Miguel.
Children into my walk.
Lexi DeVries.
Sarah Kern.
Steve Blaine.
Michael Nicholas Holmes.
Rachel Savage.
Corey Allen.
And while you're all talking, I may go get name tags. So I see, if there's anyone, as these guys are coming to the table, maybe you guys can maybe pick one person to come over here just for this first section. Just as you're thinking here, and I know staff is taking notes, but anybody answer these. Things that you're just thinking, like, we're going to go through really quick, just speed around really fast. Ideas that came to mind that you just, wow, you want to get it out here. Issues or concerns that you had coming in or that you may still have, or just, not like pointing the finger at anything, but these are some issues or concerns you want to make sure we have down in the notes. And then learnings. This could be on either side. Learning, what did you learn as a resident? What did you learn as a staff member? It could be either way. So then we'll take these, we combine them with the notes, and then that's a summary of the day. And we use those for two things. Number one, the library staff uses it to share ideas that they can implement, hopefully, and kind of look and see are those ideas they want to do, and then are some of those things that would go possibly into the racial equity plan. It'll be a 3-year plan. Okay, so ideas that are just percolating that came up, that you heard or want to share. Anything. There's got to be some ideas that came out of 50 minutes of talking.
Tabling at community events.
Say it again?
Tabling at community events. Like the library having a table at community events. That's the one I was just talking about.
Okay. Great. Other ideas. And staff can say it could have come from anybody. It's just, what ideas came from your conversations?
So seeking individuals in various communities and using them as points of contact in the wider community that we're seeking to engage, like Hispanic outreach or African Black community.
Okay.
So finding those key people and working through them.
Okay. Kind of who have trust and connections with, okay. To connect. Okay, great. What else?
Outdoor movie.
Movie?
Outdoor movie shots.
Great. Okay. Awesome.
A bunch of great specific ideas on where to advertise programming, from laundromats to grocery stores, places we're not doing now to reach more people. So
Okay.
really creative, clever suggestions.
Advertise additional places. Great.
Yeah, so we're talking about being intentional about advertising. Who are we targeting? How are they receiving our messages? How effective is our advertising?
Randy, you mentioned laundry and grocery. Were there other places that people said?
Gas stations.
Oh, good. Gas stations, okay.
Mandy's.
Okay.
It was just a thought, but I just mentioned maybe like a little business card that says follow us on Facebook or whatever, but in you could stick them in even those outdoor libraries. It's like a million of them around town. If anybody who likes
Yeah.
literature reading, and they go in there and they see a card.
Yeah. Good.
They might then know that there's social media, because I
Didn't know that they had social media.
yeah.
Was that?
I was waiting.
Oh, was it you? Sorry. Okay.
My bad.
I had taken off the picture. Okay, good. Any other ideas as you're walking out? You're like, good, I want to make sure we have that down.
It's, the main information, what I mean, the central information, if they get it translated in Spanish, advertising in English and Spanish.
Right.
Doesn't have to be the whole thing, but, for example, the moving in the park, 6 p.m. Yeah.
Okay.
Free for all watch.
Okay, good. Okay. Megan, did you have something? No. Okay. Any learnings that people learned that you didn't know about before that the library has, or that staff member learned that?
Elaine, that they're not charging us for late fees.
Oh, right. No late fees. Yeah, isn't that nice?
I would
You're
love
making it
the
around.
city to bring back the opportunity to donate to the library on the city bill. That was really nice to be able to do.
Donate to the library on the option to donate on the city utility bill?
Yeah, it used to be on there and you can't do it anymore.
Okay, great. Either learnings or issues or concerns or things that you just want to have noted here. I hope we got good notes.
I don't, actually, maybe it's just a question and not an issue, but I can't remember who said it, but somebody said something about the school libraries are kind of not as functional or as they used to be. Is that because of COVID, or is that just like becoming a new thing?
It's not. It's because so 2 of the librarians retired and they were not replaced. And there was actually a school board vote, was that 2019, Jessica? To not replace the school librarians and to instead replace them with STEM teachers. So there are parent aides who work in those libraries. There's 1 district librarian, which is an impossible job. So there's very little collection development going on or support. The Monarch Loveless is like a children's choice voting book award that goes on. This is my 10th year now at the library. And in the last 3 years, because we buy a lot of extra copies of those books because the school librarians used to run voting and stuff, the circulation on those has decreased we just don't need to buy as many copies. The kids aren't as interested. I think because they're not aware of it because the schools. So the support for libraries in the schools is non-existent. So we are picking up a lot of that slack.
And then we have problems because some of those kids are not able to drive to the library, and the parents are working 24/7 to feed them, so there's no transportation. So our kids are not reading, pretty much.
And the reasoning, a lot of the reasoning behind the decision was that there were classroom libraries, which are not the same.
No.
I mean, it's nice that there's books in the classroom. There should be a classroom library,
Yes,
but it is not the same as a full library. But I don't know what we can do about it. I wrote many letters to the school board in 2019. But it did not impact
At the school board meeting.
What's that?
We also, I think, we spoke at the school board meeting.
It made no impact.
School libraries are outdated.
They are very.
Because no one's buying new
From
books.
somebody who works in 2 different high schools, both those libraries are outdated.
There's no one to buy new books. There's no staff. They're not giving it to the library.
Anything else?
So the collection development.
Okay. Okay, so everybody get in the stretch. We're going to get out a little bit early, but the library staff, if you can hand me your notes, or you could take them with you, if you promise to, just get them to me this week, hopefully. Yeah. It's almost 8, so we're going to do 8:01, so we're going to do a very quick 60-second or less, just report out, just some takeaways that came from your conversations. We're not going to divide them into groups or anything, but are there some things either from a staff perspective or team members that things you brought up, things you want to make sure were captured, things, doesn't have to all be solved, but what sort of topics or things would you want on this board that were takeaways from the conversations?
This was not my idea, but I hope it comes to fruition, a citywide job fair, sponsored by the city.
That was talked about over there too. Both tables brought that up.
Yeah.
Application assistance.
Yeah.
Love that.
And back to the job fair, when you, Sarah and others, whoever had this, do you mean just for City of Red Wing jobs or citywide, the whole
Citywide.
community?
So everyone has help wanted signs. We all come together into a giant room, and it's like free for all. Giant.
Walk-in
Get more
areas.
applicants also, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to just do like
Okay.
United
Red
Way
Wing
thing.
shoes or just the city.
Like,
Okay, just a sec, guys.
Like,
Okay.
we could do like a just single application, like the United Way program, where it's not like you're filling out 25, but you're filling out one, and have like a navigator or somebody who's like, you know,
I see.
maybe. I mean, if I don't, maybe who has the most, you know, details, or maybe there's like an extra little tiny thing you have to fill out for, you know, specific jobs, so it's like, here's your basic one, and then there's a question on, you know, whatever, bus drivers will have to have this license, or engineering, or. I don't know.
Is that what you were saying here about application? I didn't get it all right.
Yeah, just kind of have more of just like a,
Yep.
again, we're filling out a lot of them, it's overwhelming, and a lot of it's, you know, like I said, we're dealing with a lot of mental health challenges, and
Yeah.
people like reintegrating into society, and, I mean, it's good to, you know, have that kind of pressure, because it's the reality, but
Great.
we can.
Good. Awesome.
You guys have to talk about that anonymous complaint.
We also talked about making sure that the city departments are safe for the diverse groups that they're talking about hiring. Is it safe for women to work in a male-dominated field? Is it safe for a person of color to go in with the jokes that might be being said? Is it safe for an LGBTQ plus person to be their authentic self? And so how do they address what's happening now to ensure that the environment is safe?
And nobody, you know, I said, well, we don't hear about certain things like that, but that idea of an anonymous place for an employee to send something in to Jewel or myself, I do like that idea. I know it's tough to follow up with anonymous, but we'd at least know it was happening
And you can see patterns.
and see patterns, yeah.
Okay.
And that anonymous would go to contract companies that work for the city too.
Yep. Great. Okay. Others? Hiring, firing, retaining, training.
Well, we talked a little bit about the barrier of criminal convictions and the barrier of not having references. Experience.
Criminal convictions and no
Like not having-
experience.
No, references.
Oh, no references. Okay.
Experience.
And that's what I heard back there. And no experience. So how do you get a job in the yeah. Is that what you mean, Anna? How do you get a
No, I mean, just, you know, feel the list the barriers, you know. So, some people, they
Yeah,
don't
where
have
you have it.
experience in that.
okay.
But yeah, we'd ask for too much maybe, or
Yeah,
a lot of
sometimes, yeah.
Well, a lot of the people that I work with, when they look at the they're like, well, I'm not qualified, and they look at the qualifications, and I'm like, that's like a Christmas list. I'm like, that's not, you know, you need to talk to 2 or 3 of us, so maybe just
job descriptions.
kind of shorten up
And
the
you might
Christmas
not
list.
know that, I might not know that. I'm not gonna apply because I don't really realize that's a Christmas list.
That's
I'm
the,
really
that's the one thing
intimidated.
I talk to people about all the
Yeah.
time, is that is a Christmas list.
That's
And they're not gonna get it off, so if you see 1 or 2 things on there, so even put that on there. This is our Christmas list, it's not you don't have to have all this.
Or a minimum, you have to have this.
Yeah,
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with
Anything
that.
else?
yeah, but the rest is like, that's good.
Anything else that's different?
Or sometimes it'll stay.
So just to
Stand
come up
for
on
it.
the job fair, Michelle?
Preferred experience and.
Okay.
Oh, I was saying, to talk about on the job fair, I think we talked about.
Just a second, I can't, okay, go, Shelley.
We're talking about the job fair. Like, it took out.
Wait, you guys have to stop talking. Zach,
We're sounding it out. Our meeting was over 7 minutes ago. We can talk.
I know.
So I was thinking, for that title of that job fair, it should be intentional. Because that's what we're trying to do here, is to diversify the workplaces, right? So we should be intentional about what we're gonna name it, what the city's gonna say, you know. I think we should just come up with something which, you know,
To
say.
make them feel welcome and
To
that
make
we
you feel
want-
welcome
Yeah.
from everybody from different.
That really stuck with me when you said that last time too. I don't feel like I'm welcome to apply for that job. Gosh.
Okay.
And actually, a good training for all this, at that job fair, before it starts, 5 minutes, she'll stand up and talk about the intention and also of retaining them. Because what happens is, because of the push of a hire, they'll hire me. When I go to Redmond Shoes, they'll mistreat me right there in the break room. In the job, they'll be looking at me, do you know how to put a needle in the shoe? Just because I'm black, it doesn't mean I don't know how to do that. So you can get hired quite all right, but the follow-up should be at that meeting, that first 5 minutes. The speech will be to the employers to say, when you hire, this has to continue at the job place, that these people are welcome to work, these people. When I mean these people, I mean everybody should be feeling safe to go to work in that job because they're not looked at. You know, that kind of look they give you, like, what do you know? Like, can you even speak, you know, stuff like that. So I don't know if we can have a little, four points she can talk about, you know.
I really like Corey's idea of having kind of like a universal application. It doesn't have to be like the official one, but I think just to get people going. And then we also talked about like having, when you're advertising for the job fair, you know, transportation is a huge problem. It even got worse last week with dropping the route. So, you know, like, we'll take care of the transportation, you know, those kind of things, so people aren't discouraged from applying at TI and getting off at 11 o'clock because it'll get figured out.
Good.
Well, I think Michelle and her having babysitters so that we can get younger people into some of our boards and commissions, that's brilliant. And that's a barrier for single people or young parents. Nice.
Good. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thank you. We'll see you next, in July. It will be the second Wednesday of the month.
Goodbye.
Yeah.